Imagine a world without eyes. Hard to fathom, isn't it? Eyes, the windows to our souls, have always been a fascinating part of human existence, playing a pivotal role in how we perceive and interact with our surroundings. But how did these marvelous organs come into being? Let's embark on a journey through the evolution, development, and everyday marvels of the human eye. In the grand tapestry of evolution, the eye's story begins about 600 million years ago with simple light-sensitive cells. These primitive structures, found in early single-celled organisms, could merely distinguish between light and dark. Yet, even such a basic function was a revolutionary advantage, helping these organisms avoid predators and find food. Don't you think it's amazing how something so simple could set the stage for the complex eyes we have today? As time marched on, these light-sensitive cells underwent incredible transformations. Fast forward to about 500 million years ago. The first true eyes appeared in ancient marine creatures. These early eyes were akin to pinhole cameras, capable of forming basic images. This leap in evolution was no small feat, and it drastically improved the survival chances of these organisms. Have you ever wondered how pivotal such a change could be? Over millions of years, natural selection honed and refined these structures. The eyes of fish, insects, and other creatures diversified in form and function, each adaptation finely tuned to their environments. For instance, the compound eyes of insects, with their multiple lenses, provide a wide field of view and excellent motion detection. Isn't it fascinating how diverse life forms tailor their vision to their needs? In humans, the eye is an intricately designed organ, often likened to a high-tech camera. The process of human eye development starts as early as the third week of embryonic growth. The initial structures, called optic vesicles, eventually form the retina, lens, and other critical components. By the 7th month of pregnancy, a baby's eyes are almost fully developed. Isn't it remarkable how nature orchestrates this complex process? Technically speaking, the eye is a sophisticated sensory organ. The cornea and lens focus light onto the retina, where photoreceptor cells, rods, and cones convert light into electrical signals. These signals travel via the optic nerve to the brain, which processes them into the images we see. The process, known as phototransduction, is akin to how a digital camera converts light into a photograph. There is something called the visual cortex in the brain that plays a crucial role in interpreting these signals, turning raw data into the vivid world we perceive. In our daily lives, we often take our vision for granted, yet it profoundly impacts everything we do. From the first glance at a loved one to reading a captivating book, our eyes enrich our experiences. Imagine the joy of witnessing a beautiful sunset, or the awe of gazing at the stars. Isn't it incredible how these moments, often fleeting, leave lasting impressions on our hearts? Moreover, eyes are not just functional but also expressive. They convey emotions and connect us to others on a deeper level. Have you ever noticed how a mere glance can communicate more than words ever could? Whether it's the sparkle of happiness or the mist of sadness, our eyes tell stories. They are our silent communicators, bridging gaps that words sometimes fail to close. In the modern world, the importance of eye health cannot be overstated. With the increasing use of screens and digital devices, our eyes are under more strain than ever before. Practices like the 20-20-20 rule, taking a 20-second break every 20 minutes to look at something 20 feet away, can help mitigate digital eye strain. Don't you think it's vital to care for these precious organs that serve us so diligently? In conclusion, the evolution and development of the human eye is a testament to nature's ingenuity. From simple light-sensitive cells to the complex organs that enrich our lives, eyes are a marvel of biological engineering. They connect us to the world and each other in ways both profound and subtle. So, next time you catch a glimpse of something beautiful, remember the incredible journey your eyes have taken to make that moment possible. Isn't it truly wondrous?
Once upon a time, before the advent of civilization, long before humans could even conceive of what we now call music, there was sound. The rustling of leaves, the distant roll of thunder, the rhythmic beating of a heart. These were the first symphonies that the earth produces. In those early days, humanity was closely intertwined with nature, and the sounds around them were not just background noise, but integral to their survival. Can you imagine living in a world where every rustle or roar could mean the difference between life and death? It's fascinating, isn't it? As humans evolved, so did their relationship with sound. The first step toward what we recognize as music was the realization that sounds could be controlled. Imagine an ancient ancestor of ours striking a hollow log and discovering the deep, resonant thud it produced. There must have been a moment of awe as they realized they could create sounds at will. This, dear reader, was the birth of rhythm. Doesn't it make you wonder about the joy they must have felt? But rhythm alone was not enough. As human societies became more complex, so too did their sounds. They began to mimic the melodies of birdsong or the howl of the wind. Thus, melody was born, and with it, the first inklings of music as a form of expression. There is something called pentatonic scale, which is a five-note scale found in many ancient musical traditions around the world. Isn't it intriguing that people from different corners of the earth, with no contact with one another, discovered the same musical structure? Over time, these rudimentary rhythms and melodies evolved into the first true forms of music. Early humans began using music for more than just entertainment. It became a tool for communication, a way to tell stories, pass down traditions, and even communicate with the divine. Think about the shamanic rituals of ancient tribes, where drums were used to enter trance states, connecting the physical world with the spiritual one. It's almost magical, don't you think? As civilizations grew, so did the complexity of their music. The ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans developed music theory, laying the foundation for the structured compositions we are familiar with today. The Greeks, for instance, believed that music had a profound effect on the soul and could influence one's emotions and behavior. This belief in the power of music is something that still resonates with us, doesn't it? Moving forward in time, the Middle Ages saw the rise of Gregorian chants, a form of sacred music that sought to bring worshippers closer to God. These chants were simple yet powerful, a testament to the idea that music could evoke deep emotional responses, even without the complex harmonies we enjoy today. Isn't it remarkable how something so simple could have such a profound impact? The Renaissance period marked a significant shift in the history of music. It was a time of exploration and innovation, where music began to break free from the strict confines of religious tradition. Composers like Palestrina and Monteverdi started experimenting with harmony and polyphony, creating rich tapestries of sound that captivated the senses. This was the beginning of music as an art form, something to be appreciated for its beauty as much as for its spiritual or practical purposes. Fast forward to the Baroque period, where music became even more ornate and expressive. Composers like Bach and Handel used music to convey complex emotions and tell intricate stories. There is a term called fugue, a style of composition that involves multiple voices, weaving in and out of each other, creating a rich, textured sound. Isn't it just like a conversation between friends, where each voice has something important to say? The classical and romantic eras that followed saw music evolve even further, with composers like Mozart, Beethoven, and Tchaikovsky pushing the boundaries of what was possible. They used music to explore the deepest corners of the human experience, expressing joy, sorrow, love, and despair in ways that words alone could never capture. Have you ever listened to a piece of music that made you feel something indescribable? Something that resonated deep within your soul? That's the power of music, isn't it? In the modern era, music has become more diverse than ever. With the advent of technology, we can now create and share music in ways that our ancestors could never have imagined. From the soulful strains of blues and jazz to the electrifying beats of rock and pop, music continues to evolve, reflecting the ever-changing landscape of human society. There is something called synthesizer, a device that can produce a vast array of sounds, allowing musicians to explore new sonic territories. Isn't it amazing how far we've come? And yet, despite all the changes and innovations, the core purpose of music remains the same: to connect us, to move us, to make us feel. Whether it's a lullaby sung to a newborn, a national anthem that stirs patriotism, or a love song that brings tears to your eyes, music has the power to transcend language, culture, and time. It speaks to something fundamental within us, something that has been there since the very beginning. Don't you agree? So next time you listen to a piece of music, whether it's a classical symphony or a catchy pop tune, take a moment to reflect on its journey. From the primitive rhythms of our ancestors to the complex compositions of today, music is a testament to the creativity and resilience of the human spirit. And isn't that something worth celebrating?
Once upon a time, in the realms of human imagination, myths and legends were born. These stories, filled with gods, heroes, and mystical creatures, served as the bedrock of cultures around the world. But as time flowed, like a mighty river, these ancient tales found a new form of vibrant, illustrated world known as manga. Let's journey through the fascinating evolution from mythology to manga, exploring how these timeless stories transformed and continue to enchant us. Shall we begin? In the early emerged as a way for humans to make sense of the world. Imagine a time before science, when people looked to the stars, the mountains, and the seas for answers. Myths were like ancient storytellers, weaving tales of creation, gods, and the natural forces that governed life. They explained the unexplainable, and connected people to the mysteries of the universe. Don't you find it intriguing how these stories, filled with divine beings and epic quests, have shaped our understanding of the world? As cultures developed, so did their myths. In Greece, the Olympian gods ruled from Mount Olympus, while in Japan, the kami inhabited a spiritual world parallel to our own. These stories were passed down through generations, often orally, and eventually recorded in texts. It's as if every culture had its own library of epic sagas, each with its unique characters and lessons. For instance, in Norse mythology, we find tales of mighty Thor wielding his hammer, Mjolnir, against the giants, a classic tale of good versus evil. These myths provided moral lessons, cultural identity, and a sense of wonder. Fast forward to the 20th century. when a new form of storytelling began to emerge in Japan: manga. Manga, a term that means whimsical pictures, combines art and narrative in a format that's both visual and textual. It's like reading a story while watching a movie. Manga quickly became a popular medium, drawing from a wide range of influences, including traditional Japanese art, Western comics, and of course mythology. Isn't it fascinating how these ancient tales found a new home? In this modern format, manga creators, known as mangaka, often draw upon mythology to enrich their stories. There's something called intertextuality, which is when a story references another work. In manga, this often means incorporating mythological elements, either subtly or overtly. For example, the hit manga and anime series Saint Seiya draws heavily on Greek mythology, featuring warriors known as saints, who wear powerful armors representing constellations and Greek gods. It's like a modern-day retelling of ancient legends, with a splash of action and adventure. Another example is Naruto, a series that weaves elements of Japanese folklore and mythological creatures, called yokai, into its narrative. The protagonist, Naruto Uzumaki, hosts the powerful Nine-Tails fox spirit, Kurama, a creature inspired by the mythological kitsune. These mystical foxes are known in Japanese lore for their magical abilities and trickster nature. Isn't it amazing how manga can bring these ancient myths to life in such a relatable way? Manga's use of mythology isn't limited to Japanese or Greek stories. It's a global affair. The Seven Deadly Sins explores Christian concepts of sin, while Attack on Titan hints at Norse mythology through its giants and apocalyptic themes. This blend of mythology with manga allows for rich, multi-layered narratives that resonate with readers across cultures. It's like a cultural melting pot, where stories from around the world come together to create something new and exciting. But why do these mythological themes resonate so deeply in manga? Perhaps it's because myths and manga share a common goal: to tell stories that captivate and inspire. Both mediums explore universal themes like heroism, sacrifice, love, and the struggle between good and evil. They invite us to see the world through different lenses and challenge us to ponder the big questions of existence. Don't you think there's something timeless about these stories? Regardless of the medium, as we navigate the modern world, manga continues to draw from the wellspring of mythology, breathing new life into ancient tales. It's a testament to the enduring power of storytelling, and the human need to connect with something greater than ourselves. Whether through the epic battles of gods and monsters, or the everyday struggles of a young hero, these stories remind us of our shared humanity and the wonders of the imagination. So, the next time you pick up a manga, take a moment to appreciate the layers of mythological history woven into its pages. Isn't it delightful to think that, in this digital age, we're still connected to the ancient past through the stories we love? Once upon a time, in the vast expanse of human history, our ancestors roamed the earth as hunter-gatherers. They foraged for wild plants, hunted animals, and lived in harmony with nature's rhythms. But then, around 10,000 years ago, a monumental shift occurred: the agricultural revolution. This epochal change brought about the domestication of plants and animals, transforming human societies forever. However, like a double-edged sword, it also introduced an unexpected consequence: an increase in tooth decay. How did this all happen? Let's take a bite-sized journey through this fascinating tale. In the days before agriculture, hunter-gatherers had a varied diet consisting of nuts, seeds, fruits, vegetables, and lean meats. Their food was fresh, fibrous, and often required a lot of chewing. Can you imagine gnawing on a piece of tough meat or crunching through raw roots? While it might not sound appetizing to us, this diet was surprisingly kind to their teeth. The constant chewing helped to clean their teeth, and the lack of refined sugars kept cavities at bay. Don't you think it's interesting that our ancestors, without modern dental care, often had healthier teeth than many of us today? Then came the agricultural revolution, a time when humans began to settle in one place and cultivate crops. This transition marked the birth of farming communities, allowing for the growth of civilizations. Suddenly, grains like wheat, barley, and rice became staple foods. These crops could be stored for long periods, providing a reliable food source. However, with this shift came a significant change in diet. People began consuming more carbohydrates, particularly from grains and, eventually, sugars. There's something called fermentable carbohydrates, which are carbs that break down into simple sugars and can be used by bacteria in our mouths. These changes in diet had a profound impact on dental health. Fermentable carbohydrates are easily broken down by oral bacteria, producing acids that can erode tooth enamel, leading to cavities. It's as if the bacteria were throwing a constant party in our mouths, fueled by the newfound abundance of sugars. The rise in tooth decay during this period is well documented in the fossil record. Archaeologists have found that skeletal remains from post-agricultural societies often show higher rates of dental caries, cavities compared to their hunter-gatherer predecessors. Isn't it curious how a shift in diet could so dramatically affect something as specific as dental health? As farming practices evolved, so did the cultivation of sweeteners. The domestication of sugarcane and the spread of honey further increased the intake of sugars. These sweet delights were a far cry from the naturally low-sugar diet of early humans. Picture it: a sudden surge in sugar consumption, without the benefit of modern dental hygiene. No toothbrushes, no toothpaste, just teeth exposed to sugars all day long. It's a recipe for dental disaster, don't you think? The agricultural revolution also brought about social and economic changes. With surplus food, communities grew larger, and trade flourished. People could specialize in various crafts, including pottery, weaving, and metalwork. However, this sedentary lifestyle also meant less physical activity compared to the nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyle. This reduction in physical activity and changes in diet likely contributed to other health issues. But tooth decay was one of the most immediate and visible consequences. Despite these challenges, humans adapted in various ways. Some ancient cultures developed rudimentary dental tools and treatments. For example, ancient Egyptians practiced a form of dentistry that involved drilling cavities and filling them with herbs and other substances. It's fascinating to think about the ingenuity of our ancestors in addressing the problems brought on by their changing lifestyles, isn't it? Fast forward to today, and we see that the relationship between diet and dental health is still a hot topic. Modern diets, often high in refined sugars and processed foods, continue to challenge our dental health. However, we now have the benefits of advanced dental care, including fluoride treatments, dental sealants, and a better understanding of oral hygiene. Yet, the lessons from the agricultural revolution remind us that our dietary choices have profound impacts on our health. So, as we enjoy our modern conveniences and delicious foods, let's also remember the journey our ancestors took from the wild diet of hunter-gatherers to the cultivated fields of farmers. The story of the agricultural revolution and tooth decay is a testament to the complex interplay between culture, diet, and health. Isn't it amazing how something as simple as what we eat can shape our lives in such intricate ways? And there you have it, a tale that's not just about food or teeth, but about the very essence of human adaptation and resilience. So next time you brush your teeth, think about the incredible journey of agriculture and how it has shaped us, right down to our smiles. Imagine a world without sound. Silence can be peaceful, but wouldn't it be eerie to live without the melodies of life? Our ears, those intricate organs perched on the sides of our heads, have a fascinating history and play a vital role in how we experience the world. Let's embark on a journey through the evolution, development, and everyday marvels of the human ear. The story of the ear begins over 500 million years ago, with ancient aquatic creatures. These early animals relied on basic sensory cells that could detect vibrations in water, helping them navigate and avoid predators. Over time, these simple cells evolved into more complex structures, giving rise to the first primitive ears. Isn't it incredible how even the tiniest adaptations can lead to such significant evolutionary leaps? As life transitioned from water to land, the anatomy of ears underwent remarkable changes. Amphibians and reptiles developed more advanced hearing mechanisms, including the middle ear, which improved their ability to detect airborne sounds. This was a game changer, allowing these creatures to thrive in their new environments. Have you ever thought about how our ears' design has been fine-tuned by nature to suit our needs? Fast forward to the age of mammals, where ears became even more sophisticated. The development of the three tiny bones in the middle ear, the malleus, incus, and stapes, collectively known as the ossicles, was a significant milestone. These bones amplify sound vibrations, making mammalian hearing highly sensitive and precise. The stapes, also known as the stirrup, is the smallest bone in the human body. Isn't it fascinating how something so small can play such a crucial role in our hearing? In humans, the ear consists of three main parts: the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. The outer ear, including the pinna, the visible part, and the ear canal, collects sound waves and funnels them towards the eardrum. This process is akin to how a funnel directs liquids into a container. The middle ear then takes over, with the ossicles, transmitting these vibrations to the inner ear. Isn't it amazing how our ears transform sound waves into something our brains can understand? The inner ear, often referred to as the labyrinth, is where the magic of hearing truly happens. Within the cochlea, a spiral-shaped structure, sound vibrations are converted into electrical signals by tiny hair cells. These signals travel via the auditory nerve to the brain, which interprets them as the sounds we recognize. There is something called the organ of Corti within the cochlea that contains these crucial hair cells. Isn't it astounding how this complex process allows us to enjoy everything from a whisper to a symphony? Beyond hearing, our ears also play a vital role in balance. The vestibular system, located in the inner ear, contains semicircular canals filled with fluid and tiny sensors that detect head movements. This system helps us maintain our equilibrium and navigate our environment smoothly. Have you ever noticed how quickly you can regain your balance after stumbling? You can thank your vestibular system for that. In everyday life, our ears enrich our experiences in countless ways. From the laughter of loved ones to the rhythm of our favorite songs, hearing connects us to the world. Think about the joy of listening to the rustling leaves on a breezy day, or the comforting sound of rain tapping on the window. Aren't these moments just a little bit magical? Moreover, ears are not just functional but also expressive. They help us communicate emotions and nuances through tone and inflection. Have you ever noticed how someone's voice can convey happiness, sadness, or excitement without even seeing their face? Our ears pick up on these subtle cues, deepening our connections with others. In the modern world, protecting our hearing is more important than ever. With the increasing prevalence of loud noises and headphones, we must be mindful of our ear health. Practices like using ear protection in noisy environments and moderating headphone volume can go a long way. Don't you think it's essential to care for these remarkable organs that serve us so well? In conclusion, the evolution and development of the human ear is a testament to nature's ingenuity. From simple vibration-detecting cells to the complex organs that enhance our lives, ears are a marvel of biological engineering. They allow us to experience the world in rich, vibrant sound and maintain our balance effortlessly. So, next time you hear a beautiful piece of music or enjoy a heartfelt conversation, remember the incredible journey your ears have taken to make that moment possible. Isn't it truly wondrous? Once upon a time, in the vast and wondrous world of biology, there came into existence an organ that would change the course of communication, nutrition, and expression: the mouth. Isn't it fascinating to think about how something so small can have such a big impact on our lives? The mouth, or the oral cavity, is believed to have evolved as organisms transitioned from simple, filter-feeding creatures to more complex beings, capable of taking in larger chunks of food. Early on, it was just a simple opening, a rudimentary gateway to the digestive system. Over time, it evolved into a complex structure with teeth, a tongue, and salivary glands, each component playing a unique role. There is something called odontogenesis, the process of tooth development, which showcases the intricate dance of cells and tissues that form these marvelous structures. Don't you think it's remarkable how nature crafts such precise tools for specific tasks? As we move through time, the mouth's role expanded beyond mere feeding. It became a crucial tool for communication. Picture our early ancestors. They began using their mouths, not just to eat but to express themselves. Grunts, growls, and eventually more sophisticated sounds emerged, giving rise to the earliest forms of language. Isn't it amazing how a simple opening can be the birthplace of something as complex as language? The mouth, with its lips, tongue, and palate, became an instrument. Much like a musical instrument, capable of producing a symphony of sounds. In the world of communication, the mouth has become an essential tool for conveying thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Think about the last time you smiled at someone or told a joke. Those simple acts can brighten someone's day, can't they? The ability to articulate words and modulate our voice allows us to share our deepest feelings and most profound ideas. Isn't it curious how the same mouth that can chew through a tough steak can also whisper sweet nothings? Of course, the mouth isn't just for talking and eating. It plays a vital role in our sensory experiences. The tongue, covered in taste buds, is like a little gourmet guide, helping us savor the flavors of the world. Whether it's the sweetness of a ripe mango, the saltiness of potato chips, or the bitterness of dark chocolate, our taste buds bring joy and curiosity to our meals. Have you ever thought about how life would be without the sensation of taste? Quite bland, don't you agree? But the mouth's story doesn't end there. It's also a key player in non-verbal communication. A simple smile or frown can speak volumes without uttering a word. The shape of our lips and the movement of our facial muscles can convey emotions, intentions, and even secrets. It's like a silent language that everyone understands. Isn't it funny how we can sometimes say more with a look than with 1,000 words? In modern times, the mouth continues to evolve in its uses. From singing and acting to public speaking and culinary arts, it remains a central part of our culture and society. The artistry of chefs, who use their mouths to taste and refine their dishes, or singers, who use theirs to hit those high notes, all highlight the versatility and importance of this humble organ. Don't you think it's incredible how the mouth can be a tool for both nourishment and art? Yet, with all its wonders, the mouth also reminds us of our need for care and hygiene. Dental health, for example, is crucial. There's something called periodontitis, a severe gum infection that can damage the soft tissue and bone supporting the teeth. It's a reminder that even the most marvelous parts of our body need proper care and attention. Isn't it a bit poetic how the same mouth that can bring joy with a smile can also cause discomfort if neglected? In conclusion, the mouth is a marvel of evolution and a versatile tool that plays a central role in our lives. From the simple act of eating to the complex processes of communication and expression, it is a testament to the wonders of biology. So next time you enjoy a delicious meal, share a kind word, or simply smile at someone, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey of the mouth. It's a story of transformation, adaptation, and endless possibilities. Isn't it a story worth sharing? Imagine a grand banquet where every meal you consume embarks on an epic journey through a magical land. This isn't a fairy tale, it's the story of digestion, a fascinating process that transforms food into the energy and nutrients our bodies need to thrive. Let's take a delightful stroll through this incredible journey, exploring how it all began, the steps involved, and how digestion is an essential part of our everyday lives. Shall we? Long ago, in the early days of life, organisms developed a way to extract nutrients from their surroundings. This was the humble beginning of digestion, a process as fundamental to life as breathing. Back then, primitive creatures relied on simple methods to break down food, much like how early humans gathered fruits and nuts. Don't you think it's remarkable how these basic beginnings laid the foundation for the complex digestive systems we have today? As organisms evolved, so did their digestive systems. The development of specialized structures, like mouths and stomachs, marked a significant leap. It's as if nature decided to build a fine dining kitchen inside every living being, complete with tools for chopping, mixing, and cooking. These advancements allowed creatures to process a wider variety of foods, extracting more energy and nutrients. This was crucial for survival and adaptation, much like how a diverse menu can cater to different tastes and dietary needs. Isn't it fascinating how our bodies have evolved to handle such a wide array of foods? Now, let's delve into the actual process of digestion, which begins the moment we take a bite. Picture yourself enjoying a delicious apple. The journey starts in the mouth, where the teeth act as little chefs, chopping the food into smaller pieces. At the same time, salivore's very own secret sauce is released to moisten the food and begin breaking down carbohydrates. This is thanks to an enzyme called amylase. There's something called enzymes, and they are like tiny helpers that speed up chemical reactions. In this case, they start the breakdown of food right in the mouth. As the chewed up food, now called a bolus, travels down the esophagus, it encounters a muscular gatekeeper called the lower esophageal sphincter. This gate opens to let the food pass into the stomach, and then closes to prevent it from coming back up. Isn't it neat how our bodies have these little checkpoints to keep everything moving smoothly? Once in the stomach, the real magic happens. The stomach acts like a high-powered blender, churning the food and mixing it with gastric juices, including hydrochloric acid and pepsin. These substances break down proteins into smaller molecules. It's as if our stomachs are hosting a wild dance party, with acids and enzymes breaking down food to the rhythm of digestion. The result is a thick liquid called chyme, which is then slowly released into the small intestine. It's quite a show, isn't it? In the small intestine, the digestion process continues, with the help of bile, produced by the liver and pancreatic juices. Bile is like a soap that breaks down fats into tiny droplets, making them easier to digest. Imagine washing a greasy dish. The soap breaks down the grease, right? The same thing happens in your gut. Meanwhile, the pancreas releases enzymes that break down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. The small intestine is lined with tiny hair-like structures called villi, which absorb nutrients into the bloodstream. These villi are like tiny fingers that pick up all the good stuff from the food we eat. Isn't it wonderful how efficient our bodies are at extracting every bit of goodness? The remaining indigestible parts of the food move into the large intestine, where water is absorbed, and the leftover material is formed into stool. This waste is eventually expelled from the body. It's like a tidy cleanup crew that ensures everything is neat and orderly. The large intestine also houses a community of friendly bacteria, known as the gut microbiome. These bacteria help break down certain fibers and produce essential vitamins. It's like having a tiny team of helpers working around the clock to keep us healthy. Throughout this entire process, the body carefully regulates digestion, ensuring that everything runs smoothly. Hormones and nerves communicate with the digestive organs, much like how a conductor leads an orchestra. The result is a harmonious symphony that keeps us nourished and energized. So, the next time you savor a meal, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey it undertakes. From the first bite to the final act, digestion is a miraculous process that sustains life. Isn't it amazing how something so routine can be so extraordinary? The phrase, "God is dead," is one of the most provocative and misunderstood statements in the history of philosophy. Originating from Friedrich Nietzsche's work, it encapsulates a profound shift in the cultural and intellectual landscape of the Western world. Let's embark on a journey to unravel the essence of this statement, exploring how it was born, the process it underwent, and its current implications. In the mid-19th century, the winds of change were sweeping across Europe. The Enlightenment had ushered in an era of reason and science, challenging the long-held dominion of religious authority. Friedrich Nietzsche, a German philosopher, captured the essence of this transformation in his 1882 work, The Gay Science. It was here that Nietzsche boldly declared, "God is dead. God remains dead and we have killed him." Don't you think this sounds startling? Nietzsche's declaration wasn't a literal death of a deity, but a metaphorical one, signifying the collapse of traditional religious and moral frameworks. He observed that the Enlightenment and scientific advancements had eroded the belief in an all-powerful, omniscient God. People no longer relied on divine authority to explain the mysteries of the universe or to guide their moral compass. Isn't it fascinating how human progress can upend centuries-old beliefs? This idea didn't emerge in isolation. It was part of a broader cultural movement, questioning the foundations of Western civilization. Think about the Industrial Revolution, a time of rapid technological advancement and social upheaval. The once dominant religious institutions struggled to provide answers to new existential questions. Imagine being in that era, witnessing the shift from a God-centered universe to a human-centered one. It must have been both thrilling and terrifying. As Nietzsche's proclamation spread, it triggered a profound existential crisis. If God was indeed dead, what would become of morality, purpose, and meaning in life? This leads us to another important term Nietzsche introduced: nihilism. Nihilism is the belief that life lacks inherent meaning or value. Without the guiding hand of God, people feared descending into moral chaos. But Nietzsche didn't stop at just announcing the death of God. He urged humanity to rise above nihilism and create their own values and meaning. Don't you think it's inspiring? Nietzsche's message was not one of despair but of empowerment. He introduced the concept of the Übermensch, or Overman, an individual who transcends conventional morality to create a new, life-affirming set of values. This idea resonates even today, encouraging us to take responsibility for our own lives and beliefs. Fast forward to the 20th and 21st centuries, and Nietzsche's proclamation has continued to reverberate. The existentialist movement, with philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus, further explored the implications of a godless world. They emphasized human freedom, choice, and the burden of creating meaning in an indifferent universe. Think about how existential themes permeate modern literature, film, and even video games. It's a testament to how Nietzsche's ideas have woven themselves into the fabric of contemporary culture. Today, God is Dead serves as a reminder of our intellectual and spiritual evolution. It challenges us to reflect on where we derive our values and how we navigate our existence. It's not a call to abandon spirituality, but an invitation to seek deeper, more personal connections with the world around us. In essence, Nietzsche's statement is a catalyst for introspection and growth. It's a reminder that in the absence of divine authority, we have the power and responsibility to shape our own destinies. Isn't it empowering to think that we hold the reins of our own lives? So, next time you hear God is dead, remember it's more than just a bold claim. It's a profound commentary on human progress and the eternal quest for meaning. In the grand tapestry of evolution, the nose stands out as a remarkable feature, both humble and extraordinary. It's an organ that has shaped our existence in more ways than we often realize. The story of the nose begins long ago, with the earliest creatures that roamed the earth, evolving into the complex structure we see on our faces today. Isn't it intriguing to consider how such a small feature can hold such significance? The nose, or the olfactory organ, first emerged as a simple structure in early aquatic creatures. Initially, its primary function was to detect chemical changes in the water essential for survival. As life transitioned onto land, the nose adapted, evolving to sense volatile compounds in the air. This development marked the birth of olfaction, or the sense of smell. There is something called olfactory epithelium, a specialized tissue in the nasal cavity responsible for detecting odors. Isn't it fascinating how a seemingly small patch of cells can unlock a world of scents? As we trace the journey of the nose through time, we see it evolving to suit the needs of various species. In humans, the nose became not just a tool for detecting smells, but also a critical component of the respiratory system. The nasal passages warm, humidify, and filter the air we breathe, making it easier for our lungs to absorb oxygen. Imagine breathing in cold, dry air without this process. Uncomfortable, right? The nose ensures that our respiratory system functions smoothly, even in challenging conditions. But the nose's role doesn't stop at breathing and smelling. It's also a gatekeeper of sorts, protecting our bodies from harmful substances. The tiny hairs inside our nostrils, known as cilia, trap dust, pollen, and other particles, preventing them from entering our lungs. Isn't it comforting to know that our noses are constantly on guard, even when we're not aware of it? One of the most delightful aspects of the nose is its ability to detect and enjoy various scents. The world is full of aromas, from the comforting smell of freshly baked bread to the refreshing scent of a pine forest. Our sense of smell is closely linked to our memories and emotions. Have you ever caught a whiff of a particular scent and been instantly transported back to a specific moment in time? It's a powerful reminder of how intertwined our senses are with our experiences. Don't you think so? In the realm of communication, the nose also plays an understated yet important role. It helps us perceive pheromones, the subtle chemical signals that can influence social interactions and even attraction. There's a phenomenon called the McClintock effect, where the synchronization of menstrual cycles among women living together is believed to be influenced by pheromones. Isn't it curious how our bodies communicate in ways we can't consciously perceive? The nose's journey continues into the modern world, where it has become an integral part of various cultural and social practices. From the appreciation of fine perfumes to the importance of nasal health, the nose remains a focal point of our daily lives. In culinary arts, for example, chefs rely on their sense of smell to balance flavors and create exquisite dishes. Just think about the last time you enjoyed a delicious meal. The aroma was a big part of the experience, wasn't it? Moreover, the nose has inspired countless expressions and idioms. We talk about keeping our nose to the grindstone when working hard, or turning up our nose when we disapprove of something. These sayings reflect the nose's symbolic presence in our language and culture. Isn't it amusing how a simple organ can find its way into our everyday speech? In conclusion, the nose is a marvel of evolution, a sensory organ that has adapted and diversified over millions of years. Its functions range from the practical breathing and protection to the pleasurable smelling and savoring the world around us. The nose is a gateway to our experiences, memories, and emotions, enriching our lives in countless ways. So the next time you stop to smell the roses, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey of your nose. After all, it's more than just a feature on your face. It's a window to the world. Isn't that something worth sniffing at? Once upon a time, in the grand story of evolution, there emerged a set of remarkable appendages that would transform the way life interacted with the world: fingers. Isn't it astonishing how these seemingly simple structures have such a profound impact on our daily lives? Let's take a journey through the history and evolution of fingers, exploring their origins, development, and the myriad ways they are used today. In the early days of life on Earth, creatures roamed without the dexterity we take for granted today. As some species transitioned from water to land, limbs began to evolve, adapting to new environments. It's believed that the first proto-fingers appeared in early tetrapods, the four-limbed vertebrates. These digits started as simple extensions, providing better grip and maneuverability on land. Over millions of years, fingers evolved to become more refined, each digit specializing in different tasks. Don't you think it's fascinating how evolution tailors each part of our body to fit specific needs? There is something called phalanges, the bones that make up our fingers. These bones, along with the joints, allow for a wide range of movements, from delicate tasks like threading a needle to powerful actions like gripping a tool. The development of opposable thumbs, a feature unique to primates, was a game changer. This ability to touch the thumb to the other fingers enabled more precise control and manipulation of objects. Imagine trying to button a shirt or write a letter without thumbskeet, a challenge, isn't it? As humans evolved, our fingers became central to many aspects of life. They are our primary tools for exploring and interacting with the world. From the simple act of picking up a pebble to the complex skill of playing a musical instrument, fingers have unlocked endless possibilities. Think about the last time you sent a text message or painted a picture. These actions rely on the fine motor skills of our fingers. It's amazing how such small parts of our body can create such significant outcomes, don't you think? In addition to their practical uses, fingers are also essential for communication. Our hands are incredibly expressive, capable of conveying emotions and ideas through gestures. There's something called sign language, a beautiful form of communication that relies entirely on the movement of hands and fingers. For the deaf community, fingers are not just tools. They are the gateway to language and connection. Isn't it heartwarming to see how fingers can bridge communication gaps and bring people together? Fingers also play a crucial role in our sensory experiences. The tips of our fingers are packed with nerve endings, making them highly sensitive to touch. This sensitivity allows us to perceive textures, temperatures, and even vibrations. It's why we instinctively use our fingers to feel something before our eyes confirm it. The sensation of a soft fabric, the warmth of a mug of coffee, or the smoothness of a polished surface. All these experiences are enriched by the tactile feedback our fingers provide. Have you ever thought about how much we rely on this sense of touch? It's quite remarkable, isn't it? In the realm of creativity and craftsmanship, fingers are indispensable. Artists use their fingers to mold clay, sculptors to chisel stone, and musicians to play instruments. The precision and dexterity of fingers allow for the creation of art, music, and countless other forms of expression. Whether it's the gentle strumming of a guitar or the delicate brushstrokes of a painter, fingers bring ideas and emotions to life. Don't you think it's inspiring how our hands can transform imagination into reality? Fingers also have a social and cultural significance. We use them to shake hands, a gesture of greeting and respect, or to give a thumbs up, a universal sign of approval. We point to indicate direction, wave to say goodbye, and even use our fingers to count. These simple gestures are woven into the fabric of our daily interactions, making fingers a vital part of our social toolkit. Isn't it amusing how these small appendages play such a big role in our communication? In conclusion, fingers are a marvel of evolution and an indispensable part of human life. From their humble beginnings as simple extensions to their sophisticated roles in modern society, they have evolved to become powerful tools of expression, creation, and connection. So, the next time you tap your fingers to a rhythm, hold a loved one's hand, or simply marvel at the intricate design of your own hands, take a moment to appreciate the journey of your fingers. They are, after all, a testament to the incredible adaptability and ingenuity of life. Isn't that something worth raising a finger to? In the grand narrative of life, the brain stands as one of the most extraordinary creations, an organ that orchestrates thoughts, emotions, and actions. Isn't it fascinating to think about how this intricate network of neurons has evolved to define our very existence? The story of the brain begins billions of years ago, with the simplest of life forms. Early organisms had rudimentary nerve cells, allowing them to respond to their environment. As life evolved, these nerve cells began to cluster together, forming basic neural networks. In more complex creatures, these networks expanded into primitive brains. The transition from simple nerve nets to centralized nervous systems marked a significant leap in the evolution of intelligence. Don't you think it's incredible how the brain's complexity grew in tandem with the complexity of life? There is something called the cerebral cortex, the outer layer of the brain that plays a key role in memory, attention, perception, cognition, awareness, thought, language, and consciousness. As animals evolved, so did the cerebral cortex, becoming more elaborate in mammals. This development enabled higher-order thinking and problem-solving abilities. In humans, the brain's growth and complexity are particularly notable. The human brain has a large prefrontal cortex, which is associated with planning, decision-making, and social behavior. Imagine planning a vacation or making a complex decision. These are feats of our remarkable brains. Isn't it amazing how this organ can process so much information and help us navigate our lives? Throughout history, the brain has been the subject of immense curiosity and study. Ancient civilizations, like the Egyptians, had some understanding of the brain's importance, though they believed the heart was the seat of intelligence. It wasn't until much later that the brain's central role in cognition and control was fully recognized. Advances in neuroscience have revealed much about the brain's structure and function. For example, there's the synapse, the tiny gap between neurons where communication occurs. The firing of synapses is the basis for all brain activity, from simple reflexes to complex thoughts. Don't you find it fascinating how such tiny processes underpin all our mental functions? The brain's role in our daily lives is both profound and multifaceted. It is the command center for the body, controlling everything from heartbeat and breathing to movement and speech. Beyond these essential functions, the brain is also the seat of our thoughts and emotions. It is where we form memories, experience joy and sorrow, and generate creativity. Think about the last time you felt a strong emotion, whether it was excitement, love, or frustration. These experiences all originated in your brain. It's awe-inspiring how a single organ can be the source of our entire inner world, isn't it? Moreover, the brain has a remarkable capacity for learning and adaptation, a trait known as neuroplasticity. This ability allows the brain to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, enabling us to learn new skills and recover from injuries. Have you ever tried learning a new language or playing a musical instrument? That's neuroplasticity in action, helping your brain adapt and grow. Isn't it encouraging to know that our brains can continue to develop throughout our lives? In the realm of creativity and imagination, the brain is unparalleled. It allows us to dream, innovate, and explore new ideas. From the masterpieces of art and literature to groundbreaking scientific discoveries, the brain's creative potential is limitless. Think about the last time you had a creative idea or solved a challenging problem. That spark of inspiration came from your brain. It's like having a personal artist and scientist all in one, don't you think? The brain also plays a crucial role in our social interactions. It helps us understand and empathize with others, navigate complex social dynamics, and form relationships. The mirror neuron system is particularly interesting in this regard, as it helps us mimic and understand the actions and emotions of others. This ability is fundamental to human empathy and communication. Isn't it heartwarming to know that our brains are wired for connection and understanding? In conclusion, the brain is a marvel of evolution and biology. From its humble beginnings as a simple neural network to the sophisticated organ we rely on today, the brain's journey is a testament to the wonders of life. It shapes our thoughts, emotions, actions, and experiences, making it an integral part of who we are. So, the next time you marvel at a beautiful sunset, solve a tricky puzzle, or share a heartfelt conversation. Take a moment to appreciate your brain. It's the ultimate storyteller of our lives, weaving the intricate tapestry of our experiences. Isn't that a thought worth pondering? In the grand symphony of life, there exists a marvelously complex conductor, the neuron. Imagine it as a tiny messenger running through a bustling city of thoughts and feelings, ensuring that every part of our being is in harmony. But how did this wondrous cell come to be? And what journey did it undertake to become the cornerstone of our experiences? Let's embark on a captivating journey through time, tracing the neuron's origins, its development, and its indispensable role in our lives. Ready? Let's dive in. Long, long ago, in the primordial soup of early life, cells began to develop more specialized functions. Among these, a certain type of cell emerged with the unique ability to communicate with others. This was the humble beginning of what we now know as the neuron. Picture it: a simple cell with the potential to connect and relay information. It's like the early days of the internet, basic yet revolutionary. Don't you think it's fascinating how something so simple could evolve into something so integral to our existence? As life became more complex, so did neurons. They started to form networks, much like how cities develop intricate road systems. These networks allowed for more sophisticated communication and coordination, enabling creatures to respond to their environments in increasingly nuanced ways. This evolutionary leap was akin to upgrading from a landline phone to a smartphone. Suddenly, there was a world of possibilities. These early networks laid the groundwork for more advanced behaviors, and, eventually, the birth of consciousness. It's almost as if neurons were the first to light the spark of awareness within living beings, isn't it? Now, let's fast forward to the intricate structure of a modern neuron. It's a masterpiece of biological engineering, with three main parts: the cell body, dendrites, and the axon. Imagine the neuron as a tree. The cell body is the trunk, the dendrites are the branches, and the axon is a long, winding root. But here's the twist: these roots aren't just for grounding. Instead, they transmit electrical signals at lightning speed to other neurons, like a high-speed train zipping from station to station. These connections, known as synapses, are where the magic happens. There's even something called neurotransmitters, tiny chemical messengers that leap across the synapse, carrying signals from one neuron to another. It's as if the neurons are whispering secrets to each other, sharing stories that make up our thoughts, feelings, and actions. Isn't it incredible to think that every sensation, every memory, every emotion we experience is the result of these tiny cells firing away in our brains? It's like a bustling newsroom, with neurons as journalists rapidly reporting the latest news. They cover everything, from the delicious taste of your favorite ice cream, to the joy of a loved one's smile. And just like a good story can tug at your heartstrings, neurons play a pivotal role in our emotional lives. For instance, the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter often referred to as the feel-good chemical, can flood us with happiness. It's like a little party in your brain. But neurons aren't just about the good times. They also help us navigate challenges and dangers. The fight or flight response, a critical survival mechanism, is orchestrated by neurons communicating with lightning speed. It's like having an internal alarm system that alerts you when something's not quite right. Ever felt your heart race in a tense situation? That's your neurons kicking into high gear, readying your body for action. In our everyday lives, we constantly rely on neurons, often without even realizing it. They help us learn new skills, form habits, and make decisions. It's as if each neuron is a little coach, guiding us through the complexities of life. For example, when you're learning to ride a bike, neurons in your motor cortex work tirelessly, adjusting your movements until you can balance perfectly. Isn't it amazing how these tiny cells can teach us such big things? As we wrap up our journey through the life of a neuron, it's clear that these tiny cells are more than just biological components. They're the essence of our humanity. They allow us to think, feel, and connect with the world around us. The next time you marvel at a sunset or feel the warmth of a friend's hug, remember neurons are behind it all, making life a rich, vibrant experience. And isn't that a beautiful thing? In the vast history of evolution, the heel stands as a quiet hero, playing a pivotal role in the way we walk, run, and stand. It may not always receive the same attention as other parts of the body, but isn't it fascinating how this small, unassuming part of the foot is so crucial to our everyday lives? The story of the heel begins millions of years ago, with early terrestrial animals. As creatures began to move from aquatic to terrestrial environments, their bodies had to adapt to new modes of movement. The evolution of limbs and feet allowed these animals to traverse land, and with it came the development of the heel. Initially, these early heels were simple structures, but they soon evolved to become essential components of locomotion, providing stability and support. Isn't it interesting how something as basic as a heel could evolve to play such a significant role? There is something called the calcaneus, or heel bone, which is the largest bone in the foot. It forms the foundation of the rear part of the foot, known as the hindfoot, and is crucial for walking and running. The calcaneus works in tandem with the Achilles tendon, one of the strongest tendons in the body, to enable movement. As humans evolved, the heel became more specialized. Our ancestors developed a more upright posture, and the heel adapted to bear more weight and provide balance. This evolution allowed humans to walk long distances and stand for extended periods. Don't you think it's remarkable how the structure of our heels supports our entire body weight? The heel's design is a marvel of natural engineering. The calcaneus is cushioned by a thick layer of fat, which acts as a shock absorber, protecting the foot from impact. This cushioning is essential, especially when running or jumping, as it helps to distribute the force evenly across the foot. Imagine the last time you went for a run or jumped off a step. The comfort you felt upon landing is largely thanks to your heel's protective padding. Isn't it comforting to know that such a small part of our body plays a big role in keeping us comfortable and safe? In everyday life, the heel is a crucial player in our mobility. It is the first part of the foot to strike the ground during walking, a phase known as the heel strike. This action helps to initiate the rolling motion of the foot, propelling us forward. The heel's role doesn't end there, it also helps in maintaining balance. Think about the simple act of standing. Our heels work with the rest of the foot to keep us steady. Whether we're standing still or moving quickly, our heels provide a stable foundation. Have you ever stood on your tiptoes and felt the strain on your heels when you came back down? That's the heel doing its job, supporting your body and maintaining balance. The heel also has a unique place in cultural expressions and idioms. We talk about being on one's heels to describe someone following closely, or Achilles' heel to refer to a weakness. These phrases highlight how deeply ingrained the concept of the heel is in our language and culture. Isn't it amusing how a simple part of the body can have such a significant impact on our expressions and metaphors? However, the heel is not without its challenges. Conditions like plantar fasciitis can cause heel pain, often due to inflammation of the plantar fascia, a ligament that connects the heel bone to the toes. This condition can be quite uncomfortable, reminding us of the importance of caring for our feet. Proper footwear, stretching exercises, and maintaining a healthy weight are all important for heel health. Isn't it a bit ironic how the heel, which supports us in so many ways, sometimes needs a bit of support itself? In conclusion, the heel may be a small part of the body, but it plays an outsized role in our lives. From its early evolutionary beginnings to its crucial functions in walking, running, and balance, the heel is a cornerstone of our mobility. It provides support, absorbs shock, and helps us maintain stability. So, the next time you take a step, run a mile, or simply stand and enjoy the view, take a moment to appreciate your heels. They are the unsung heroes of our feet, quietly doing their job and keeping us grounded. Isn't that a thought worth healing to? Once upon a time, in the fascinating journey of evolution, feet emerged as one of the most versatile and vital structures. They are our reliable companions, bearing the weight of our bodies and allowing us to explore the world around us. Isn't it incredible to think about how these seemingly simple structures have evolved to support us in so many ways? The story of feet begins in the distant past, with the early aquatic creatures. As life transitioned from water to land, limbs evolved to suit the new environment. This transition brought about the development of feet, with early amphibians adapting their fins into sturdy, limb-like structures. These proto-feet were crucial for moving on solid ground, providing stability and mobility. Over millions of years, as creatures adapted to different terrains, the structure of feet became more specialized, allowing for better balance and movement. Don't you find it fascinating how evolution fine-tunes our bodies to adapt to various environments? There is something called plantigrade locomotion, which refers to walking on the soles of the feet, with the heels touching the ground, as humans do. This type of movement allows for better weight distribution and balance. As our ancestors stood upright and became bipedal, the anatomy of feet underwent significant changes. The arches of the feet developed, providing shock absorption and enabling efficient walking and running. The big toe, or hallux, became aligned with the other toes, aiding in forward propulsion. Isn't it amazing how these adaptations allowed humans to walk long distances and explore new territories? Feet are marvels of engineering, comprising 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. These components work together to provide flexibility, strength, and support. The arches of the feet, for example, play a critical role in distributing body weight and absorbing impact. The muscles and tendons in the feet allow for a wide range of movements, from delicate balance to powerful leaps. Have you ever marveled at how gracefully a dancer moves, or how effortlessly a sprinter sprints? It's all thanks to the intricate mechanics of the feet. Beyond their structural functions, feet have played a crucial role in human culture and daily life. From the simple act of walking to the complex choreography of dance, feet are central to many activities. Think about the last time you walked barefoot on a sandy beach or dipped your toes in a cool stream. Those sensations are all thanks to the sensory nerves in your feet. Our feet connect us to the ground, allowing us to feel textures, temperatures, and vibrations. Isn't it delightful how something as simple as walking can bring us such joy and connection to nature? Feet are also a key part of our social and cultural practices. In many cultures, feet are seen as humble and are often associated with respect and reverence. For example, in some traditions, it's customary to remove one's shoes before entering a home, symbolizing respect for the household. In others, foot massages are a form of relaxation and care, showing how feet are not only functional, but also a source of comfort. Have you ever experienced the relief of a foot massage after a long day? It's a small act of self-care that feels incredibly rewarding, don't you think? The importance of foot health cannot be overstated. There's something called plantar fasciitis, a common condition that causes heel pain due to inflammation of the plantar fascia, a thick band of tissue that runs along the bottom of the foot. This condition reminds us of the need to care for our feet, as they are the foundation of our mobility. Proper footwear, regular exercise, and foot hygiene are essential for maintaining healthy feet. Isn't it interesting how we often take our feet for granted until they need attention? In conclusion, feet are extraordinary structures that have evolved to support, move, and connect us with the world. From their early beginnings in aquatic creatures to their modern role in human locomotion, feet have undergone remarkable transformations. They are not only functional, but also a source of sensory pleasure and cultural significance. So the next time you take a step, run a mile, or dance to your favorite song, take a moment to appreciate your feet. They are the unsung heroes of our bodies, carrying us through life's adventures. Isn't that a wonderful thought to stand on?